Back today, I'm going out to put it. Yep. Oh,
Call the August meeting of the Natural Resources Committee to order. Please have roll call.
Kara,
Here.
McKee,
Here.
Hendricks, Gill,
Here.
Fleming.
Here.
You have board or do some service of this.
Okay. And did we have proper notification of the meeting? Great. And now we need an approval of the agenda,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
right? All those in favor say aye. Aye. And minutes. If there are any comments or corrections on the minutes? If not, we'll say they're approved as published. And now it's number 6, public comment. Any public comment at this time? Okay. Zoning petitions.
So we have a petition for a rezone and a conditional use. So the commercial, and we need to figure out if we're doing both parcels as commercial. On the agenda, we have them both, and then on the rezone, we had a question. So you guys said that none of managed forest was affected by this? Okay. So it's both parcels. Going from ag forest to commercial. There's going to be an event space added. And then the 2 conditional uses are 2 additional short-term rentals. There already are units on each of those parcels, so there'll be additional residences. Mike Wertz is here as well, working with plumbing, making sure that we have all the sanitation that we need to cover everything as well. But we're looking for a rezone of the 2 parcels to commercial and then 2 CUPs for 2 new cabins.
Okay, I guess did you guys want to add anything at this point?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay, I guess my question was, the event space needs a CUP or no?
Not what in a commercial
That's
district.
right, that's why we're changing it to commercial.
Oh, got it. And so the CUPs are just because of their STRs?
Yes,
Okay. And this is just for the rezone at this point,
rezone and the conditional use permits.
all in the same form?
Yep,
I didn't know you could do that.
yep.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah. Do them both at once, it's an $800 charge too, so the form indicates that as well.
Right. I don't know, have we done one, a
Yep.
double up one like?
The last month we did one for the place up by Westford,
All
the
right.
mouth bottling.
All right, so any questions from the committee on this one?
I mean, I don't know if there's anybody here to comment on the rezone. They're allowed to comment on the rezone itself.
Not get any phone calls.
I got some phone calls. Yeah, she got a call last week and she said if they wanted, they could either come or they could, show up online, so.
And they did not. Okay,
About any adjacent landowners and.
That was what it was for.
That was the one you're talking about, yeah.
and the township has already signed off, so I would think, I think pretty straightforward to go with this one, right? All right, so a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Mr. Gill,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Fleming. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
So the next, they'll go to county board on the 19th, the rezone. And we'll just put together the CUP that says you can put the
cabins.
rentals.
Yeah.
And we're meeting, going out there Friday for and I think we've got a handle on the septic issues out there, or sanitary, yep.
Fingers crossed.
It was too many permits for that one. So, all right.
Okay.
Okay, the reports, I'll have her start.
Yeah, so just for general numbers, we had 22 land use permits issued in July, so I don't know how that compares to previous months, but, a lot more. So we're at 77 total for the year. We had about 6, sanitary permits issued, mix of new replacement reconnects. The big thing we've been working on lately is violation letters. We sent out 8 violation letters last week. A combination of campers being used for residences. There's an illegal non-conforming parcel that a camper is on, so there's several issues there. There was a complaint about dog kennels, also where someone's living in a camper, and then a couple of junkyards and just kind of visual nuisances to people.
And the one about what guy owned, people just bought this property, and there's an easement for the guy behind them. And they're bringing, they were worried about the easement, but they were bringing construction equipment and they're doing some kind of building on the land and we have no land use permit for it, so.
So we've talked with Attorney Wendell a couple months ago and kind of got our process in place and, we get these complaints, we issue a letter, we give them a timeline. If they don't respond within that time, we pass it on to him and start issuing citations potentially, to try and get some things cleaned up.
So these are primarily when some neighbor or somebody contacts you guys?
Or we have to go by and see things.
Okay.
The one with the camper and the campground thing, and then on the non-conforming, they wanted to go to the Board of Adjustments for a variance to put permanent campground on that site. And then the town chair came in and talked to her last week and showed us pictures, and they've got a camper there with a screened-in porch attached. So this is more than just a little.
So we're also kind of a possible future agenda item is talking about campers and residences and some other counties allow them, if there's the right sanitary system set up, for them to be parked there more long-term. So there may be some things coming in the future on that.
When we get back to doing our review of the zoning ordinance, we'll have to fine tune that.
That's why we're asking questions.
Yeah.
Actually, last week, one morning, thought it'd take about an hour. It took like 2.5 hours because we had between phone calls and people stopping in, all the interruptions. It took us 2.5 hours to go through the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
Things we want to see and we want to kind of buckle that down. And then we've been emailing the people from other counties, it's the Wisconsin County Code Administrators. We've asked about cemeteries, what other counties do, and that's one thing we're gonna have to think about adding into the zoning districts. I'm thinking limiting that to expansion of existing cemeteries. Like classic example, Basswood Cemetery bought adjoining land to expand theirs. We have nothing that allows that.
Oh,
The other thing that we're trying to figure out and talk to other people about is, and I know Deb has gotten questions on it. I don't know about you, Julie, but we've gotten questions about people wanting to bury somebody out there on their own property, and we really don't have anything, and it's maybe something we want to think about. And I don't know how to put it in, if it's a zoning ordinance, it's just a general ordinance. That's what we're working with other counties on too. It's like,
And the state does not have any say, they don't have any regulations against it. So if we don't make a zoning ordinance, there's nothing really we can do, somebody here in town actually could do it if there's no city ordinance. So we need to draft some rules about whether.
and it's not saying that it's not allowed. It's just some counties are limited to one burial, and it's got to be a family member. The biggest thing is, we'll take your place. You decide you're grandmother dies and you want to bury her on the property, well, that's fine. But if it's not properly marked, properly ever, then 30 years from now, you guys don't own it, somebody comes. Yeah, they come, yeah. And some counties only allow like green burials. They don't allow like casket, that sort of thing. So we're trying to sort that out.
I know in Vernon, you have to give them the coordinates.
Yep. I think
And
that's a big thing, but then it's like, where do we put it? Does it record it on the deed? Which in reality, in my opinion, it should be recorded on the deed, saying that this is where somebody's at. So 30, 40 years from now, it shows up, hey, some people may be freaked out by it.
Well, and then there's the whole idea of other people wanting to come on your property to visit their loved one, So we need to have some guidelines there so we don't have problems with people coming on private property to take care of a grave that, is neglected or whatever, so.
do you see that being incorporated into the zoning ordinance or separate?
We're not sure. That's what we're gonna be finding. We're gonna find some more information out about that because it's like, if it's just the zoning ordinance, then it leaves out 4 townships.
That's true.
And not that we don't want to, but it's like, if you're in Sylvan Township, go ahead and bury somebody, 4 or 5 people and don't have it marked, and now somebody goes and buys it,
Okay.
I am going to be sending out later today a letter to all the town clerks and the town chairs, and then like the village clerks and village chairs. For years, the county has gotten a contract with Mike Reeder, his company out of Platteville, to do the Uniform Dwelling Code inspections. We pay nothing. The landowner pays that. But at the end of the year, he's done. And he works with several of the townships, so I want to send a letter out saying what they want to do. I sent an email out to that county code group. And Scott Godfrey from Iowa County said they don't do that. It's up to the townships to find their own. And we let the townships know, and then we send the land use permits to the township saying that, these people, let them know that they need to contact a UDC inspector.
When did you say he's leaving?
End of the year. We just found out about a month ago, so I've been trying to. So I talked with Tricia on Friday. I said, well, find out what they want to do, the townships want to do. And I mean, we can go out to do it, but I don't know if we don't pay anything, so I don't know why we're doing a contract with somebody to do the, Uniform Dwelling Code. If Iowa County's not doing it, I don't see why we have to be the one doing it.
Maybe put that on as a future agenda item when you get.
Right. Yeah, I will. So I'm just letting you know, I'm gonna be sending out letters on that. Noel, Jen and I went last week. So we went out to the southern area county code group, met out at White Mound, and we used the lake to figure out it was on the shoreline zoning and mostly floodplain zoning. We learned a lot. We got a lot to learn, but how the regulations play, how we look up things, what's floodway, what's flood fringe, what they need to do in those zones if they want to build anything, disturb the land. So we have a better handle on what needs to be done. So we learned a lot. We got better contacts with other counties. Some have been doing it, like the guy in Columbia County has been doing it for 20 years. So he's a really good.
So does the county GIS map have all those layers that we don't? the public
Yes.
doesn't see?
Yeah, it's on the zoning one. Yeah, it's on the main website.
Yeah, the floodplain should be a layer on the public site.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And so then there's a special one, and we can go in to DNR to get more detail. And then they showed us the link to the FEMA site, so we could do a little bit more. Anything else on zoning? So it's just been really busy. A lot of septic installs. A couple with Mr. Wirtz there and several others. That's been going really good. They've been contacting us, and if for some reason we can't make it out for one reason or another, they've been very good about filling out a self-inspection. So that's been working out well. She takes her test on the 19th for the house inspector, so I'm hoping she passes, and then, because that's 2 people to look at and can sign off. So if I had to be gone on vacation and somebody needs to put in we had an issue where both of us didn't realize he's gonna put in a septic, and we hadn't finished everything. We had the plan from the state. We didn't have all the other forms. So if I was gone, she couldn't sign off. So it worked out. We got it. So it'd be nice having 2 people,
Okay.
and maybe eventually 3. So,
All right.
for land conservation, Saturday is snapshot day. It's, if anybody's willing, they can meet us at the park shelter here at 8:30. We'll go through a little training on Saturday, and then we'll drive out to the site. It's on a DNR land. We're just gonna be walking around, doing some looking in the stream for aquatic invasive species. And maybe a couple hours out there, and then we'll get together, see what we found, if we found anything, and then I turn in all that information to the state by the end of the month. There was a special project for aquatic invasive species. I can't remember the name of it was. So, anyway, no, yeah.
It was a voter or voting behavior study with the DNR.
So they wanted to go down at Lee Lake for a couple hours, and I wasn't available, but so she and Corey went out, spent a couple hours out at Lee Lake. It was what, 2 or 3 boaters?
There was one voter.
1 boater.
A couple people walking by. Not a very busy landing,
So
but it was randomly selected by the
Yeah.
DNR.
now if we'd had like one of the boat landings along Scotts River, probably been a lot busier. It's on our Facebook page, but Corey set up a producer-led social at Turbo's in Hub City on August 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. So, and sending invitations out to people, like producers who might be interested, getting them to just a social to talk one-on-one instead of like a meeting, just sit down and see if anybody's interested.
And are you gonna be going to that, or who's?
Me?
You are.
Corey's gonna be organizing it. I don't know.
I don't know if I'll be able to, I'll try to make it out. She's coordinating it, but
I'm just saying, even if it's social, you'd wanna have someone to kind of get the conversation
Yeah.
started and.
I think she, and I think Ann, what's her name? Hey, yeah, the gal, Anna, I can't think of her last name, Anna, from Extension,
Oh, right.
Anastasia Kurth, there we go. She's gonna be there too.
That was what the date was
Wednesday, the 20th, 5 to 7 p.m.
at Turbos.
at Turbo's. We've had a few, manure runoff issues. A couple are small, one's larger. Corey and Derek have been working on that with DNR people. Corey is working with them on nutrient management planning and getting in compliance with farmland preservation things, that all 3 are farmland preservation. But also Derek is working on designs, on that. So one of the things, we had a gentleman who last year signed a contract to do stream bank work, but he wasn't gonna get it in last year because he'd already planted corn along the stream. So Derek said, okay, we'll extend the contract, and the price, when it was bid out, it was more, so he's gonna use some of this year's money to cover it. The guy planted corn there again. Riprap needs to be put in this stream by September 15th. He's not gonna get the crops off until October, which we can't do it, then the DNR won't let us. So we're gonna have money left. We can't, we're looking at maybe using that money that was allocated to him and just say, if you can't get it off and have it ready installed by September 15th, we're gonna reallocate it to one of these manure runoff issues.
And you've already told him that.
Derek kind of mentioned it. I just wanna let you know that I'm gonna tell him, go ahead and tell him that because, and let you guys know, because we can't just let that money, we can't carry over the money again. Can't put it in. So unless he gets the corn off by the end of August, they can get them,
As long as notify him in writing. I'd say
yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have
that's
to
the right
do.
way to go.
Yeah, and I'll tell him, but he wanted me to let you guys know that was going along on. And I said, I think that's the way we're gonna have to go, because I don't wanna waste the money. We've got some issues that need to be taken care of, that are priorities with the state. So I think we take care of the manure issues and say, you know, you knew that you should be planting along the stream there so we could do the work. I mean, he let him know in the wintertime he had to, couldn't have those crops there, so it's not like he didn't know.
Right.
Green Tech, Lucas Winchell wants to open the old Johnson mine. It was abandoned through the mining process, non-metallic mining process. A few years ago, I wasn't involved, and now he's working with the new landowner to reopen the mine. The Johnson mine,
What kind of mine is it?
non-metallic mine, like quarry.
Oh, okay.
And, so he's gonna have to go through that whole process again. He's gonna have to come in like he did and get a conditional use permit and all that and he sent in a plan. Derek and I are working with him, getting everything set up correctly so the application is correct. So next month or two, we may have that come in. So right now, Derek's out on a dam construction today. But he's got had 4 well abandonments this year, 2 cattle crossings, some wrap to be installed this year, as well as working with these 3 individuals on the manure issues. So, let's see, what other notes do I have? The staffing grant is, I looked on the site, although they increased the amount given to counties, ours is gonna be $5,000 less. Because it's a formula, and so it's 100% of the first position, which works at least 95% on land conservation. Well, that's always been me. Well, now that I've taken on zoning, mine is less, we have to use Derek, so ours went down actually 5,000.
Okay.
Not much, and I kind of told, when they were talking about doing this, I had told Candace about it, that this may happen. I'm not gonna lie, saying I'm working on 95% on land conservation issues, because I'm not, it's not.
But you and Trish are working that with the budget side.
Well, I just found out this morning.
Oh, okay.
So I sent the email, they just put out the packet stuff, so I sent an email to her and to Eric and to Tammy, let them know. And one other thing, I know Mark will be excited about this, found out last Friday that this DAWS, the Georgia Area Water Study, had been working with the Crawford Stewardship Project. It had applied for an EPA grant to do well testing. Of course, with everything going on at the Fed level, it was put on hold. They found out Friday that it's been approved. And I think it's for 3 counties, it's like 300 wells.
For each county?
No, total, 2 to 3 counties. So that's on top of what like you guys did through the other.
Did the pilot testing, what, a week or 2 ago?
Yep.
Yeah, we only did the pilot. The full testing of, I forget, 150, 200 wells has not yet happened, but it will. It may not be the same testing procedure as what DAWS does.
No, it's not. But I was gonna look here, there's something I was gonna-
That'll roll out this year or next year?
I'm not sure when, we're gonna find out, but yeah. We don't have the details yet, but they're hoping to, just gonna look here.
Bottom line is it's good news.
It's good news, so it's more well testing for the county.
Yep.
So,
Next year, I would imagine it's getting late.
yeah, I think it's gonna be next year, they haven't. Gotten everything, but it'll be good. More wells we can get tested, the better. But I think it's 300 wells total. And I don't think they figured out everything yet, so. That's all I've got, I think, you know.
And who will administer that?
It'll be joint between the three and the three counties will get together and discuss like I and the gentleman from Vernon County and my position in Crawford County will get together with some others and decide how we're gonna break it up and
Okay,
kind of like we've done before. We've never had we've all put in our own money. This is the first time we've done a grant. So
anything else?
that's all I can think of right now.
Okay.
So I'm here for extension. Adam is on vacation, so you just get me today. So I'm the financial educator, Sarah, so I'll just give you my quick little update. I've been working with Bridgeview Commons, and I'm also working with another senior center to have budgeting classes for seniors in the community. So working on that. I've also been working with Southwest CAP, which is it's a regional, it covers, I think, Grant, Crawford, a couple of other counties. And they do a lot of like things related to like getting work and things. And so they do a work and wheels program, and I do financial coaching for them. So residents in Richland County come through me, do the work and wheels program. I do financial coaching, and then they get a car for 0% interest. I think it's up to $5,000. So it's a program that's been going on, and I've just been kind of doing that. And then on August 13th, I'm going to be starting working with the jail, doing a reentry ready program. So for as they leave the jail, having financial information on like being ready to get out. I know that this jail, like they don't stay super long, but I talked with the sergeant and they still think it's super useful to have like information on like credit and debit cards, bank accounts, things like that. So I'm going to be starting that, doing that twice a week.
When will that start?
August 13th. Yeah. That's what I've been up to.
Okay,
On the email. It's three to 400, and so maybe I'll send this email out to all of you so you guys have that information.
okay, great. So no more for extension then? Okay,
That's it.
all right. Property lister.
So, I have had 450 transfers so far this year. That's as of the 1st of July. And, I wanted to kind of give you a review on, in 2024, we had 136 splits, of different parcels that went on. And then this year so far, I have 85 that are on the books. So just so you're aware of what splits are doing and how that's coming through. And I'm still working on some other property issues. I did have a person stop by to pay their taxes last week, and they talked about the Mill Creek Dam and that it had been dismantled south of town, and he wanted to know somebody had given him the acres. And I said, "Oh, you were given acres?" And he says, "Yeah, it's not on my deed, but it is the acres from the pond that was given."
Which not one of our dams, is it?
It was the Mill Creek Dam or the Bellwater Dam. And I can talk to you about it.
Yeah, because like,
So it
Reach-
says so many feet not on deed. So there's some history to go to see where
Sounds
that
like it.
that land started and then bring it back forth. And so it looks like it was done in 2008. This was put on the tax on these 4 parcels. So it's interesting to find that these 4 parcels got land, but it's not on the deed. So there's some research to be done there because he said he's been paying taxes on it for several years. So this was something new. So I'm interested to see how that all shakes out. I talked to Todd about it. And we talked about riparian rights, and so he's gonna stop by and review some of the documents that I have.
Yeah, there's gotta be some kind of document.
Yeah, and it should just be not on deed. That's kind of, so that just wanted to bring you to where I'm working as far as how many transfers this year and how many
So that's
splits.
a lot, right?
I thought it was, but we're on track on the transfers. Pretty close to what we had last year, because I've been keeping track of it, so. But the splits are, I was surprised I had 85. But some of the big ones were hires, had sold off some land in Ithaca that had, several different people have now taken ownership of it, so. So some of those, splits will be done in 25 before taxes are run, and some will be done in 26 after taxes are run. Because we have an assessor that only values parcels after taxes are run, not before.
Right, okay.
And we've got, we're gonna be setting up a land information council meeting later this month to talk about assortment of things, what we've done so far in the grant, where we're standing on funds, both Fund 23, which is the grant fund, and Fund 48, which is the retained fees that get taken in at the Register of Deeds office. And then about the CSM, talk a little bit more about that, what our plans are for the next grant, anything else that comes up. The one thing, and I thought that's the way it was, and we double checked with Peter from Land Information Program, and our base grant is $100,000 minus what is taken in at the Register of Deeds for recording fees. So and she reports every month then what they take in. So if she takes in $25,000, our grant will be $75,000. So it's all dependent on what is taken in at the Register of Deeds. And so everything in both grants, both funds have to be spent according to the land information plan that was developed. So we can't do something outside of the box unless we amend our plan.
Has to go mostly to land use.
Yeah, as goes the land use, so we can't buy the sheriff's department something, because, you know, they're doing land, you know, whatever, you know, I'm trying to say, it's gotta be associated with actual. So.
Okay. Are we ready for
Yep.
item number 9?
Yeah. So we found out, I think it was after the last meeting, that we've been, before Katrina started, we were, I don't know, the CSMs that came in, certified survey maps came in, zoning administrator was signing off on it. Well, we're not surveyors, we don't know if things were done, and so other counties have been sending them into this plat review out of Department of Administration. So we started doing that. Well, they can't keep help. So we informed that they're done. They're not gonna do, there's gonna be
Anybody?
for anybody. They're just gonna do the ones that they're required to do. So I talked with Todd Rumler and I said, okay, what are we gonna do? And so he's a county surveyor, so we gotta start with the county surveyor. I've always been told any kind of survey work or anything like that, because we have a county surveyor, we've got to offer it to them first. So I talked to him, and he did some number crunching with the company he works for, and they figured it would like a 200, for every review would be $200 on top of what they pay us. So we would have to pay them $200 a review. So we need to pass that on to the landowner. And I talked with Trish Friday, so we need to change the fee schedule as soon as possible. And we're gonna it's coming to you, then we'll go to the executive finance, and then the county board this month.
So is it $200 per hundred? So it's 300? So it's a
$100
$300.
plus
It's
whatever lots.
100 plus $20 per lot.
So it's a minimum
So
of
typically it's 120.
Okay.
plus,
So-
plus be $320 minimum. So we can't pay for it, but I don't feel comfortable, and I don't feel comfortable having my staff sign something that, we're not surveyors. You know, there's so many, and with these certified surveys, you want them accurate as possible. That's why you're doing them. I won't, I don't know how to read them.
Well, it's better that they review it,
Yeah.
catch any errors or
And any
find
that
any
he
that
would,
doesn't close.
and any that he would do would be in the contract that Ted Greenick will review it for the same price.
So will he have the capacity add this to his work and still get things timely?
Yep,
Okay.
that's one thing I discussed.
We've
It-
only had about a dozen surveys, 12, 13 surveys submitted so far this year. So it's 1 or 2 a month probably.
Yeah, but I don't feel comfortable us signing off on something that we don't do ourselves. So that's why we need your approval to take this to finance, take it to finance and then take it to, county board to.
I'll ask for a motion to pass this on.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Julie and Mark is the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
So this is one of the things we wanted to add to, we talked about, we wanted to add to the zoning ordinance and put it in the residential as a, was it conditional use? We're gonna look at, or was it a permitted, I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, I think a permitted use.
Permitted
but they
use.
have to get-
yeah, so this is. Actually, Noel did a really good job putting this together. Took everything, we've gotten several snippets from people's other counties' ordinances, and this is what we kind of put together. It talks about a maximum of 8, probably per parcel. Yeah, I think it's like 8 per parcel is what we're looking at. No roosters. Not allowed out of the chicken, out of the coop or the pen run, they can't be running around all over the place. Fully enclosed chicken coop to house the chickens, at least 2 feet per square foot per chicken. And she listed where to find the meet residential setbacks, cannot be in the front yard without a privacy fence. Possibly the other counties have done like I don't know what you guys think about a privacy fence, so. Required enclosure, outdoor chicken run pen area attached to the coop. So you couldn't have the coop and then have another run, it's gotta be together. And the setbacks would be like 20, of the run has to be at least 25 feet from the center line of the road. With a privacy fence. And with a privacy fence can be tied to the fence, without privacy fence, 5 feet from the property line.
So any comments and questions from the committee on this?
Any opinions?
I guess the 8 chickens per parcel seems restrictive to me. If you got, a large area, basically, why would we say you can only have 8? I guess my take.
Yeah, that's why I put the
Question
question
mark,
mark there,
yeah.
like, do we wanna do per acreage, do you wanna do per parcel, so that's up for discussion.
Right, that's why we got it.
I would say more, but I put a maximum, like, I don't know, say something 4 per acre or something like that, maximum 20 or, something.
Yeah,
like
okay, that's
that.
that's why we wanted your opinion.
So in town, you don't have acres, you have, sorry.
We don't, no, this would be anybody, anything is zoned residential,
Okay,
Well, county only, not.
county only.
okay,
Not the municipality.
okay, perfect.
So if you want 4 per acre,
Yeah, I think a larger number, as long as it's not, and still make a lot of noise or create a lot of problems.
No.
So I don't see why you'd say just 8. I mean, what I'm saying.
well, I would say, yeah, maybe it's 8 per acre, up to maximum of 24.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think that's.
The biggest questions I have. It's like, there's not a problem. We just want to have wording in place in case something does come up.
Right,
But I-
it's come up before.
How many parcels do we have that are zoned residential in the county?
A lot.
A lot. And on top of that, how many of them are close to their neighbors? That kind
A
of
lot.
lot.
Well, and that's why we put do we want to have a minimum lot size? If they have a residential acre that's only a third of an acre, do we want to allow that? Or do they have to have,
The minimum
a half an acre or a full acre to have a chicken coop?
In actual towns and cities, I've seen chickens kept in very small, very,
Right, that's the whole thing, but we've got some that are like 2/10 of an acre, you know, we don't want 8, you know. That, I guess that's our question. What do you, the minimum lot, is it a minimum lot size? Is it half an acre? Is it an acre they need to put chickens on? You know what I mean? Because we've got some that are 2/10 of an acre parcels.
I definitely don't think we want them on that small, but.
Right.
But, I think 2 acres is probably too much. And the reason I'm saying that is I'm thinking about like Gotham and, Saxonville. Oh, I know I've been approached by different people wanting to have chickens on their property and they wouldn't meet the 2 acre, but I think it's probably still fine for them to have. I feel like we do have to have.
Right, and that's why,
A minimum.
so what minimum would you like to see? Half an acre, an
I'd go
acre?
for half, just to start out.
People in Milwaukee and Madison have them in their houses basically.
And that's what I was saying, I've seen it in very small areas, but
Yeah, my daughter in Janesville has 4 on her lot. It's a 1/10 or 2/10 of an acre. I mean, you know, so, I mean, people are doing it and with no problem, you know, and so I would advocate for, you know, having rules if there's a problem, that, you know, that's, but to somehow say a size is gonna determine the issue, I don't think that's
But
accurate.
if we have the chickens per acre, then if they have, take the number of chickens they want to have, you know, then you'd have to say, oh, you get 2/10 of an acre, you can have 2 chickens or whatever.
Right.
You know, that's what we're gonna have to,
You could,
what size were you thinking was better?
You know, I, like I say, thinking of my daughter's house, it's like a 1/10 or 2/10 of an acre, it's a small lot, and they've got 4 chickens, and it's fine, their neighbors are happy with it, you know, so there's no issues. And I know people in the city, you know, that have small lots, have chickens without issue, so like I say, I'm just, you know, it's when there's a problem. That's
Right.
what we need to, you know, and then the problem, what's it gonna be, you know, smell or noise or something.
you know, like we said, with 8, maximum 8 chickens per acre. That's, I mean, 8 chickens is a lot, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Well, what if we just eliminate bullet 8? Just don't even,
Yeah.
and then this up above would kind of say,
still, there's still some constraints with all the other stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
okay.
What do you think?
So then what are you saying for number 1, maximum of 8 chickens per acre? Is that what?
Well,
And if they have half an acre, they can only have 4?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying, Steve?
don't not say that. I'm saying don't even mention the minimum lot size,
Right.
and then we still can play around with the maximum number
Okay.
separate from that.
so I guess you have that first bullet point then. How should we interpret that? You can have up to 8 chickens if you have even less than an acre?
That would be one way to do it, a limit below a certain
Mhm.
lot size. Thoughts?
I mean, if you want to vote on it, fine, if not, we can just, we'll put it, you vote on it, we do the zoning ordinance. We'll put it in the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
You can, it will be, because it won't be adopted yet, we'll just do it all at the same time.
So we have both R1 and R2 and
Now we just have our, just residential.
Okay.
Although they show R1 and R2. The only difference between the two was one is supposedly in the, like, Saxonville, and the other part was out where you live. And it's like, that was the only difference, really. And either one, if you wanted to put the argument was having a trailer, you know, trailer house on it, well, both of them you had to have a conditional use permit and it has to go through the township, so it's like, we didn't understand why, you know, it didn't make sense.
One of them was for subdivisions, meant for being in subdivisions.
Yeah.
Because that potentially could be different than
But if you read the thing,
R1,
yeah,
R1 somewhere else.
but it said the same thing, except the only difference was what was in the
Mobile
front part.
homes.
And mobile homes, either one, you have to have a conditional use permit. So you have to go, we make them go through the township to put one on, so it didn't really matter which way it was zoned. Somebody said, well, you can't put it, no, you can put a mobile home in an R2.
so when we settle on the wording here, this won't be a new separate ordinance, be part of.
It'll be, yeah, be adding it under the,
So it also doesn't really need, this doesn't need to go to review anyone else.
no.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring it to you guys.
Yeah.
For your approval and then take it to, and then put it, once, we'll put this in the ordinance. And then we'll button things down like this month and then send it off, kind of to have, before we bring it back to you, have Attorney Wendell review it.
Review,
The whole ordinance changes.
really, okay.
We can bring, we'll bring it back to you.
You'll have it ready for us next month.
Well, no, October we'll probably have it ready for you,
Okay,
the October meeting, because
Okay.
the September meeting's August 30th, so, or the end of the,
Yeah.
last Monday, because of Labor Day.
okay,
We'll have everything, we'll have it, we may send it off, kind of have it ready. It's in September, sending it off to Attorney Wendell to kind of review, see if he notices anything that's wacky. Well, make sure we're doing things correctly.
anything else on this ordinance? Or addition to the zoning ordinance? Okay. Correspondence? Nothing? Correspondence? I guess we're looking for future agenda items then. Anything? Anything you guys know that's gonna need to be on?
There is a conditional use coming to replace a trailer home with a new one. And I think there was a legal non-conforming parcel that has changed hands that they want to put a shed on that will need to be rezoned. So there's at least two that'll come, so it's agenda.
Okay, so, we're ready to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Mr. Fleming moves.
I'll second.
Mr. McKee seconds. All those in favor say aye.
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 We'll miss you, Mark.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed working with y'all.